Hello, everyone. Today I'm here at Dane Davenport. Dane, was music a big influence on your childhood?
Oh, absolutely. Not in the sense a lot of people who play my style of music, but it was a major part of my upbringing. I mostly listened to classical music. There wasn't a lot of rock, pop, or folk, or anything that I currently listen to around the house, but there's a lot of classical music. And I actually grew up in a church that had all a cappella music. So singing was also a big part of my early childhood. And then uh, right around my early teens, I started to get introduced to Paul Simon and Bob Dylan and the Beatles, and just it all branched out from there. And now there's very few artists and genres that I don't listen to.
How old were you when you started playing?
I was 10 years old when I started playing guitar. I took piano lessons when I was 5, and that didn't go so well. I never really took to it very well, but at the age of 10, I got very lucky and started taking guitar from a very talented classical musician, John Sabota. And he's still a mentor figure to me even now. He is kind of a pre-producer on some of my songs. As I write them, I almost always share them with him. And I started playing classical guitar, but I quickly transitioned to playing and writing my own material.
Was there a particular moment that you knew you wanted to be a musician?
Well, I think it was always something that was inside of me. But yes, there was. When I was 18, I went to, there's the fantastic venue, the Hotel Cafe in Los Angeles, California. It's one of my favorite rooms. It's a listening room, and it's just, they get a very high caliber of artists there. But they put together, Carey Brothers put together a tour for that was called the Hotel Cafe Tour. And I went to, I think it was their second tour, but it was the first one that stopped in Kansas City, where I'm from. And it was just a couple days before my 18th birthday, I believe. And I was standing right in the front. I was a big fan of all the artists there. And Joe Purdy shoved the microphone in my face during one of his songs and said, "You're not too cool to sing." And I guess I was looking aloof or kind of hipster-esque at that time, but I don't know what it was, but him doing that just like made me realize, I have been writing songs for a long time, and I've been working on my own material, and there's no reason I shouldn't be on a stage somewhere. So I've got Joe to thank for that.
Do you remember your first show?
My first live performance was at this little sandwich shop, Missouri Mud Company, and I kind of got dragged there and kind of put on the spot, and there was almost nobody there, and I got like permission to do it right before starting to play, and I only played a handful of songs, but I had my guitar case open in front of me, not because I was expecting tips, but just because I had pulled out my guitar, and this nice little old lady, as she was walking out after finishing her sub sandwich, she dropped $1 in there, and I still have that dollar now. Like, I realized in that moment, like, there's people out there who might actually pay me to do this.
Can you tell us a little bit about your Kickstarter campaign?
Yeah, that was something that I had thought really long and hard about. Like, I've seen a lot of artists do various crowdfunding for the support of albums, and I've been kind of studying up on it for a couple of years before I ever launched it. And I had already finished the recording for the album, but to really push it, I needed to be able to produce physical product as well as market the thing in order to release it. And I knew that it would take another, couple of years for me to save up what it would take to do that. And I didn't really want to do that since I'd already spent years saving up and putting everything together just to get it recorded. And now that I had the product, I didn't want to sit on that for another couple of years. So I had a lot of support behind me, and I'm very grateful to every single person, because it took everybody to push me over the top. But I'm very grateful for that, and that's the only reason I'm able to release it as soon as I am.
What can we expect from the new album?
Well, the album is finished, and I just got the masters back this past week, and it's I've been this proud of anything before in my entire life. Like, it's about 10 years in the making, since the oldest song on there is at least 10 years old now, and it's my life's work, really. But production wise, it's of the highest caliber. Like I said, I put every cent I had into this thing, and I went to Nashville to record, and the musicians I got on there, it was a bit daunting to me because it was an experience like I've never had before. But I got there, and every single musician that played on my record, I had already owned an album that they had performed on, which I don't think most people for their first album can say something like that. And it's amazing, just the high caliber of artists that they've worked with before, and the high caliber of performance they brought to it. A lot of it was recorded just live, a lot of the songs live in one take, and it was just unbelievable what they brought to it. And I'm really excited for everybody else to hear it now.
What normally inspires your music?
A lot. It pieces from everywhere. There's people, there's movies, there's other musicians that inspire my work. There's events in my life, there's events and people I know, things that have happened to people I know that might inspire a song. And sometimes I just write down bits and pieces here and there, and it all kind of comes together in a theme. I mean, I see songwriting as a form of storytelling, and sometimes that story is my own. Oftentimes it is a story more around the emotions that I felt and the emotions that I see that kind of just connect everybody. And that's really what I'm interested in, is not really telling my story or someone else's story, but just telling our story, that creating something new.
Is there something you enjoy outside of music fans may not know about?
Before I moved full-time to music, I was a graphic designer, and I love design, and I designed my own website, and I handle pretty much all the marketing material. I like working with other artists to kind of bring other voices to kind of my branding, but design is something that I'm really have been passionate about in the past, and that I really enjoy. Music is my life, though, and so I never really felt bad about leaving it behind, but it's always something that interests me.
Where's the best place for everyone to follow everything you have going on?
My website, danedavenport.com. All my social media is linked through there, but you can also find them, if you can name a social media site, I'm probably there. danedavenport.com/Twitter/Facebook. Basically, if you want to keep track of me, whatever you're currently on is probably the best way to do that.
Dane, did you have any final thoughts before we go?
I do have the new album coming out, and I am very proud of it. And there's going to be a lot of touring involved right after that album comes out. And that's going to include a handful of countries, many states of the Union. And hopefully the people watching this, I'll be coming someplace not too far from there. So you can check that out on my site as well, danedavenport.com/tour, to find out where I'm going. I'm going to be making announcements very soon.